Okay. Welcome to the call tonight, guys. Wanted to just really quickly before I send it over to Carrie, because she had this vision for a vision call. So she's going to kick us off in a second, but I really just wanted to congratulate Jen and Carrie because they have become Success Club All-Star Legends. That means they have hit Success Club 24 months in a row without fail. And Jen has hit it as Success Club 10 and higher, and Carrie 5 and higher. And I should say most months Carrie is way above the 10. So it just is what it is for 24 months. That's a lot. But 3 to 5 people a month for 24 months. That is like a long time. Like 2 years ago, what were we doing? Like, that is crazy. So I just want to say congratulations to you guys. That is awesome. And they will get special recognition at Summit. They will get to walk across the stage as legends, which is really cool. And I think sit on the floor. So that's cool too. All right, so congrats, girls. I'm really proud of you. That is super hard, but obviously super doable too. So Carrie, I will send it over to you.
Okay. Jen has hit over 10. Then you said Carrie, but you meant Jen, but it's okay.
Did I? I thought I said Jen.
No, you did.
You did for SC10, but then you said that I've hit like a lot of months over 10, which I don't do that. But that's going to come later in like what I'm talking about. So
No,
you have.
It's fine. Let's talk vision. It is like totally my thing. So I would be the one who want to talk on it. I'm definitely like the dream big person. You can ask my whole team that. Like, that's what I love to talk about. And I feel like it's because, I mean, part of it's probably my personality, but the other part of it is like, why the heck not? Like, why would you dream small when you have a business that has no cap to it, which I think is hard for us to understand because we especially professionally, we're in like a very black and white kind of world. So to understand that the only cap to our business is ourselves is really not the way we're used to thinking, but it's true. And we're going to talk about that. So first point, don't play it safe with your vision because you doubt yourself or because you think that it's totally possible for someone like Ashley Molstead or Danielle Natoni or Kate Schultes or like whoever. Guys, like, who the heck were they before Beach Bite? Like, they're just Joe Schmoes that decided to do something with their business, and now they've significantly changed their lives, which is awesome. But for some reason, we look at them like they're something special. And not to say that they're not cool people, but I think you all are just as special as any of them. So don't play it safe. Find a vision that legit like sets your soul on fire, because that's the only one worth working towards, and it's the only one that you're going to put the work in for. But Meg's going to like talk more about how we can, like, questions we can ask ourselves to get into that vision. I wanted to talk more about, I've always been good at the setting the vision portion because I'm a dream big kind of person, but I wanted to talk more on what I learned this year that was kind of like a hard lesson for me, but an important lesson, because this one does not play so much into my strengths, but it's necessary for my business. So what I wanted to talk about, and sorry if I have to like stop and breathe because I can't, my lungs. Babies take up space and I talk really fast and then I like hyperventilate. So what I learned this year looking back, and I literally have my vision board sitting right next to me reminding me, is that vision alone for your business is not enough. It's just not. I love to create the vision. I love to dream big, but the actual recipe for success in the business is to have your vision plus action plus a reevaluation. That's the actual like recipe. If you depend on the vision alone, all you're doing is dreaming and you're not actually necessarily moving forward if you're not taking the right action. And the way to know that you're taking the right action is to stop and reevaluate what you've already done. So I actually took notes so I wouldn't like get lost in my thoughts. But you can ask yourself, are your actions getting you any closer to your goal? And the way that I recommend doing this is you set your big vision, right? And this is my physical therapist and me, because we set long-term and short-term goals. So you set your big vision, right, for life maybe, or maybe it's for the year, whatever. Start at least at a year and then work yourself back. So, whatever you want to be a year from now, what does that look like quarterly? And then what does that look like monthly? And then what does that look like weekly? Because if all you do is think about a year from now, then in 12 months, you're going to look back and say, well, shoot, I didn't do what I had to do to get myself where I wanted to be, because you never reevaluated where you were. You waited until a year from now. It's like the 2B mindset thing, like Alana's thing with 2 pounds a week. Like, take the small chunks every week and reevaluate what you've been doing to make sure that it's actually working in your business. Yeah, okay, good. I didn't miss anything with that. So my example, my real life example with this is, wait, hold on. I feel like I did hit something. Oh no, okay. So my real life example, something off my vision board that was like, I don't even know that was actually a goal. I think it was just something I really wanted to write down because it felt good, was Elite 2020. And when I wrote that last January, I did not actually even understand, I think, what that entailed. But looking at it a year from now and getting curious about it, I can evaluate what I did and know what it entails now going into next year. So we can look at failure as like, oh, I suck. Why am I even doing this business? Like, this is not anywhere where I'm supposed to be. Or we can look at where we are and say, okay, let's get a little curious about it. Like, what should I have done differently? Or what did I need to do differently? Or was it even the right goal? Because sometimes, like I said, I just set that goal at the beginning of the year because it felt really good, and I'm an achiever. So I'm always going to choose the highest of whatever I can choose. But I didn't really understand it. So I got curious, because now I do understand the goal, and now I do really want it. And so now I'm going to look back and look at what I did to see how I can help my team achieve that next year. So looking back and just looking, like, taking my example, like Megan was saying, that is, if that's my true goal, Elite, then Success Club 5 is not where my bar should be set. My bar should be set probably at Success Club 20 or higher. That's what they were telling us at Summit, and that's real life. So I have to evaluate then, like, is that something I actually want in my life? Do I want to work my business to the point that I'm hitting Success Club 20 or higher? Or do I need to back my goal down and stop working towards something that's just going to frustrate me? Does that make sense? So that was one thing I looked at. Another stat I looked at was recruiting coaches. It was not a great year for me in terms of recruiting. I was like at maybe 2 to 5 coaches a month. Again, not where an elite coach is going to be. I'm guessing they're probably, I don't have this number, but I'm guessing they're at least 5 to 10, most likely, in terms of coach recruiting. And then the other third piece of the puzzle that I felt like was really big moving into next year and setting my own goals and my own actions is that I wasn't able to help enough of my PS coaches rank, advance, and hit Success Club. So I was hitting Success Club, but I wasn't duplicating that enough throughout my downline to help the team build itself. So that's something that I need to focus on into next year. What can I do differently to help with that? So the nice thing about that is I could look at it, like I said, you could be like, oh gosh, that's a lot of work. Or I can look at it and be like, that is all within my own power to change. Like, I'm the one in charge of my Success Club. I'm the one in charge of how many coaches I'm recruiting every month. I'm the one in charge of how I'm leading my team. So all I have to do is look at what roadblocks kept me from doing that this year. And there were some roadblocks you can't change, like you get pregnant with twins. Oh, that's a thing. That's real. But you can figure out, like I was talking to Jen today, you know, I'm looking at the next stage in my life, which is going to be newborn life times 2, which sounds crazy. And I have to be very realistic with my time frames. I am staying home, but that also means that I am doing a lot with the kids, and Ben travels like 70% of the time. So it's a lot of single mom and things. So I have to get very comfortable asking for help, and I have to get a babysitter, most likely at least twice a week for a couple hours if I want to take my business to a certain point in the year. And that's where I have to ask myself, like, am I willing to do those things to get my business to elite? Is that a real vision, a real goal for me? Let's see what else I have, because I started getting off topic. Yeah, okay. That was that was a lot of what I had. I know I was supposed to like pump you up, Megan. I don't know if I pumped you up enough, but I, because I didn't want it to be like a downer. I'm just trying to be realistic with vision, because I love vision, but I also know that in this business, it's so easy, especially being 4 years in, like you put some type of timeline on yourself and you think, gosh, I've been doing this for this long. Why am I not at X place? But you have to really, really be honest about how you've worked thus far to get to where you are and how hard you're willing to work. Like Kyla and I were talking about having abs the other day. I'm not willing to work and eat every day like a woman who has a six-pack. Like, that's just not the life I'm always willing to live. Your business is the same. I would encourage you to take time after the call to reflect on your vision, which Megan is going to talk about. Set, your goals a year from now, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and then send it to your upline, because we really want to help with that, but also tell your upline how to help you. Like, some people are very independent workers and they don't need check-ins, and they literally just want you to know what the goal is and they need to put it out there. Some people need hand-holding, and your upline doesn't know that. So you have to tell them how to help you. But if you do tell them and they give you the right amount of support and you guys work together, you can go freaking big next year. And that's really exciting. So that's all I had, Megan. You're welcome.
Great. Good. I was going to say, I like how you said at the very beginning, vision isn't enough, because I wanted to I think we see as entrepreneurs and like Beachbody coaches, we see a lot of people on social media right now, this time of year, especially, like creating vision boards and things like that. And I've never really been that type of person. Like, I don't sit there and cut out things and make this fancy board. That's not what does it for me, but it's because I just feel like that's like taking up a lot of time and energy, and just to look at it when it's really the action that we have to be doing. So if you want to make a fancy board, go for it, but we're not going to do that. So what did I say? Yes. Agree. Okay. So, I have a couple points. There are a couple questions actually, and I got them from another coach in the network. She threw them into her team call and downline, but they were really I think good questions to kind of get you thinking about your vision. But before I give them to you, because I do, like Carrie said, we really would like you guys to answer them and send them to us, and put it out there in the world. That's how you stay accountable, right? Putting it out there. So if you are on this call, I hope you're not just wasting your time. I hope that you're actually going to take what we're saying and do something with it and create your vision and take action steps towards it. So before I go into that though, I wanted to just say, you're probably another personal development type thing, crap, how much belief can I build up and think and all of these dreams, and how can I do all this stuff? Well, when I started as a coach, it was almost 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years in February, which is really weird. My sponsor at the time, she was active in the business a little bit, and she did a diamond push group, and part of her entire Diamond Push group was about creating your mission, your vision, and looking at your business outside of Beachbody, like, and putting it out there. So I honestly was like, great. Like, that sounds wonderful and everything, but like, not really for me. I don't need all that fancy frou-frou stuff. Like, I'm not, I'm trying to think of, I don't know, I'm not, Rachel Hollis, and I'm not like, my mission is the last 90 days, live your best life, like, sort of thing. I don't know what her mission is, but whatever, there it is. So I was like, I don't really need all that. Like, I just need to help people start their health and fitness journey, and my business will grow. But I went through the push group with her, and I did what she told us to do. And, because I am coachable, and I did want to, I did have to do something that I didn't do before in order to get where I wanted to go. So I did what she told me to do, even though I was like, I just don't want to, which is probably like what you're saying right now. You're like, I don't have time to answer these vision questions and like think about what I want to do for the next year or whatever. But I did them. And then that is honestly like when things clicked for me. So I know everybody says, like, if you're on wake up calls and things, like, people say, that light bulb moment when things just went off, or that click where it was just like, oh, like, you flip the switch and you understand like how to make coaching work now. Like, I would kind of equate this to that a little bit. And I would say once I got clear on my mission behind why I'm doing this, and that is to empower women through fitness to be free in their lives, Team Be Fit, be free through whatever's holding them back. Once I came up with my mission, and like, that's what I think about every day, and that's why I do this, then I was able to come up with my vision and for my business for like the next, steps. Once I did that, I hit Diamond. So I was the only person in her push group of 6 weeks, I want to say it was, that hit Diamond out of like 10 of us. So I don't know. I think there's something to this. But what was it? So then it clicked. So another coach said something that I thought was really interesting. And she said, we are a microwave society with crockpot dreams. And I thought that was very interesting, because we are just a society that wants things right now. Like, and that's just not just with coaching, that's with anything. That is with our fitness, our, if we're going back to school, in our job outside of Beachbody, in, anything. We just want results right now. And we're not willing, we just want to zap it in the microwave. When in reality, our dreams that we have actually are going to take a little bit longer and a lot more slow cooking to get there. So some of you might have heard on, I did a live in the team last week about time management or something like that. Maybe that wasn't the time management one. There was a couple I did. But there is a singer, and I owe a couple people in here a gift card, so I'm going to send it to you. But there is a singer who in 2010, she has been singing since 2010, and 2019 right now is the first time that anybody has put her songs on the radio. 2017 is when she wrote a specific song that is blowing up the radio right now, and it was produced, so it was like out in the world, but it took her 2 years to get her song in front of all the stations, put it out on YouTube, get people to share it, get her friends to play it, and she went into 10 different radio stations in her home area to get this on the radio. And they all told her to go home because it wasn't going to be a hit, that song. And now that song is a hit. And we probably all know her as Lizzo. Well, we all do know her as Lizzo, not probably. But that is Lizzo's story. So for 10 years, she has been a singer and a songwriter and busting her butt and just doing her passion because she had this vision to be this amazing artist. And it took her 10 years. Now, I know some of you are like, awesome, great for Lizzo, but I don't really need Beachbody to like take me to like, the top. I just want to make a couple extra bucks and that's cool. But here's what I say to that. It's your vision. So your vision does not have to be top artist of the year. Your vision does not have to be elite 2020. Your vision does not have to be to not return to a nursing job to make 60 grand a year and be away from your kid and husband all the time. Your vision could be to be the scientist that you are and to not live by putting things on credit cards, or to be able to travel more, or, to pay off medical bills. Your vision is whatever it is you want to do. Like if you are a nurse, Mama. 1 second. If you are a nurse right now and you're working like part-time, and they all said hi to you. Okay. If you're a nurse right now and you're working part-time and you love, like I loved nursing. And I know that like the physical therapists we have here, the teachers, the counselors, the nurses, we love our profession and what we went to school for. But some of us want to stay in that, and some of us don't. So it's your vision. I'm not asking you to draw a vision where you're going to leave your full-time job, your passion, your career that you're passionate about. I'm asking you to create a vision that you just can't see yourself without something. So maybe that's you can't see yourself. 1 second. Maybe that's you can't see yourself not being able to take your entire family to the Outer Banks on vacation one summer. That's a great vision. Why not? Maybe your vision is just taking your family to Disney World, top notch, no holds bar. Maybe your vision is paying off your student loans and being able to take your boyfriend to, a surprise ski vacation for the weekend. I know one of our coaches is doing that. She just like slayed the last 3 months and used that for her. That was her vision. And it was a shorter vision, like a quarterly vision, but she set it. She set actions for it, and she went after it because that meant a lot to her, being able to take her boyfriend on a birthday trip with friends to this ski lodge somewhere for the weekend. So I think you get my point. Everybody's visions are different, but you have to have a vision. 1 second, I'm going to give you the things. What do you need?
I was on Google.
Well, don't go on Google.
Well, right. It's on Google for some reason.
I need you to be quiet.
I was sad.
All right, I'll fix it. I'll be there in 2 minutes. I'll fix it. I swear to God, the kid doesn't need me any time of day, except when I'm talking to you guys. Oh yeah, we should have. Okay, so I should have typed these up earlier, but okay. So here's what you should be jotting down real quickly for the vision questions. If time and resources were no object anymore, so I'm not talking about like being a millionaire, but I'm saying like your debt's paid off, you don't live like month to month paycheck, and I'm talking like your car's paid off, like your mortgage is paid off, like those sort of things, in like the house that you're comfortable in, that you want to live in, not like going and buying a $3 million mansion, but your time and resources were no object anymore, your debt was paid off. Who do you want to be spending your time with? And what are you doing with them? So that's question number 1. Okay, and then the next thing is, if time and money are not an issue, what are your top 3 priorities in your life? And like I said, with time and money not being an issue, how would you be honoring those three things as being a priority? Okay. The next thing is about traveling, and I think it's a very it's much more specific question, like obviously, but I think it's something that, like, we live in this big world. Like, you got to want to get out of just your own bubble and like explore and see new things and be out there. So, travel. Do you want to travel? Is that something that's important to you? Where do you want to go and why? So, this kind of goes to my point of Miranda and her vision of taking her boyfriend and a couple friends to a ski lodge in Canada for the weekend for his birthday. Like, a specific vision. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, we'd like to go away on like a ski vacation. It was his birthday is in February. I think it might be, or they're going in February. His birthday is in February. I want it to be a surprise, so I don't want him to like be paying for anything. I want to be taking two couples with us. I want to be going to this place that I found at this lodge. And why do I want to go? Like, because I know that's something that he really wants to do and I want to do it for him. So that's a very like specific scenario, which is what I'm asking you to get specific on. And then, what does your day-to-day life look like? And again, this isn't to be like, you make it what you want it to be. Like, this doesn't have to, I'm not like asking you to make it fancy. I'm not asking you to make it flashy. Like, you live this like in this huge house with like this fancy car and lashes and bags and all. Like, that ain't my jam. I love our house we moved into. Like, it's nothing big, nothing fancy, but it is exactly the house that I like wanted. Um, and so, what does my day-to-day life look like if I didn't have to worry about time and money? So, I think Carrie's made it clear like what her vision is, and it's to have more time with her children, without having to rely on childcare and things like that because she has to go to work. Like, if she can just get a babysitter for a couple days or a couple hours, a couple days a week, and then have more time with her kids, her vision is to be able to have that time freedom. My vision is to not go back to having to be a nurse, a floor nurse. Like, I don't want to be working shift work. I don't want to be working as a home health nurse like I was before. Like, none of that sounds fun to me anymore. And I know what it was like to have to get vacations approved and have to, not be around on Christmas, or have to decide in August, like, what holiday I wanted to work. Like, that's just not me. And that's fine. But there has to be something in your scenario that you want your day-to-day life to look like. Like, I want to wake up, take my kid to the bus stop, take my dog out on a run, then get my day started, then do like, with me and my personal stuff, then get to my work done or whatever that kind of work looks like at the time, so on and so forth. Like, how do you want your day to look like? And so, like I said, I know everybody's probably like, yeah, this is great and all, but I'm just like, I just want a couple $100 a month or something. But if you don't have a vision for why you want that couple $100, if you don't have a vision for why you want to be diamond, like Kyla said earlier, like, it's going to be really hard to get there. Like, it's just not enough to say, I want to be diamond. It's not enough to say, I want to help 3 people this month. It's not enough to say, I want to pay for Christmas in cash. I feel like, have to have a vision. if you pay for Christmas in cash, I'm just giving all these ideas, but if you pay for Christmas in cash, like what would that mean to you? How could that impact your life? You know? So just, you have to be more specific, and you have to have that vision, and you have to understand that it's going to take a little bit of time. You can't just expect it to work in a flash. You have to set the goal, set steps for it, and then, like Carrie said, take action and reevaluate. And many of you might not know what steps to take to hit your goal. Okay. But that is the great thing about having leaders like Carrie and Jen and Kyla and Jackie. Like, they have taken steps to advance their business to certain places that nobody else on the team has done yet. So they can help, and they can get you there, and they can pinpoint exactly what you need for your goal. So that is why it's imperative that you share your goals. The other thing I'll say real quickly is, because we do have a lot of people on here, which is great. God, I feel like I'm carrying twins or something. I'm like rashy and like heavy breathing. I'm not carrying twins. But the other thing I want to say, because Carrie and I were talking about this the other day, and it goes back to you guys telling us your vision and your goals, is we are not mind readers, you guys. We sincerely love each and every one of you guys. We wouldn't have asked you to be a part of our team if we didn't want you to be a part of it. But you have to understand that there are a lot of you and like one of us. So if you need something, or if you have a goal and you're not sure how to reach it, like, you have got to reach out to us. And I'm not saying that in a way where, you know, we're not here for you or anything like that. We are, but it happens, and people slip through the cracks, and things get busy. And if I focus on like 10 girls and trying to catch up with them, or they can just get back to me like one-on-one, it's easier and more seamless. So you have to reach out if you need something. You have to like reach out to somebody sideline in the team, upline, whatever, to get you where you want to go. I think that's all I had. I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Not just vision, but anything? So we have some like powerhouses on here if anybody needs to ask something.
I don't have a question, but I wanted to share this podcast that I was listening to today. Your Virtual Upline. I don't know if anybody, I know Megan and Carrie, you both listen to that, but this kind of goes along the lines of vision and goals. It's episode 125, the 3 biggest mistakes people make when goal setting. Ooh. And I didn't listen to it all, but he was really talking about how like Carrie was saying, we do need to go back and look at this past year and evaluate, you know, what went well, what didn't go well. And I wrote down notes because I never remember exactly what they say. But one thing that really spoke to me was, your thoughts create your feelings. The way you feel determines the actions you take. And over time, your actions create your results. And I know in this business, a lot of times we say we want this, we want diamond, we want 1-star, 2-star, premier, elite, whatever. But we don't take the actions, we don't take the steps to get those goals, because we let our fear, we let self-limiting beliefs, we let the opinions of others hold us back from sharing this opportunity and sharing openly about what this amazing community and these amazing programs and products. So when you guys are thinking about your goals, I just want you to really kind of do a little self-evaluation and think like, you know, am I holding myself back? Because truly, if you want to hit premier or elite or whatever it is your goal, like, you are the only person that's going to get you there, and you're also the only person that's going to stop you from getting there. So I've talked to Carrie many, many times about this, and like, we see so much potential in you guys, and sometimes it's like frustrating just to us that we can't get through to you. Like, that you have so much potential. You just need to believe in yourself. And I know that comes from like personal development, because I didn't believe in myself at all the first year and a half of my business. You know, I let fear hold me back. And then once I decided, like, I have a gift, like, I owe it to others to share this opportunity and this, everything that we are doing. And why am I going to let what Susie over here, what I think Susie is thinking about me, like, she's not thinking about me. I'm just making these things up in my head, why am I going to let that stop me from going where I want to go? So sorry, I kind of interrupted here, but I hope that helps, because I really do. I see so many people quit before they even get started. They say this isn't for them, or they don't have time to do this. I used to tell myself I didn't have time. I must quit so many times. I had this conversation with Megan many times. I'm like, yeah, this just isn't for me. Like, I'm just going to go back and work more hours at the clinic. I don't want to fucking do that. Like, I don't want to do that. But I was telling myself, like, oh, I don't have time. Like, the kids just need all my attention. But like, I want more out of life. And I know that my PT job isn't going to get me there. I have big, big goals. And this is the only thing like that I have control over, whether I can bring my husband home, or he can cut down his hours, or I can completely stop working as a PT. So it's hard to see the bigger picture when we're like in the moment and where we are. He said something like that in let me see if I can this was really good. If you limit what you believe to be possible for yourself in the future, we limit something, I don't know, for yourself in the future based on what you see in front of yourself today. So it's hard to see that big picture. It's hard to see, I'm going to be making six figures. Like, I don't even want to make six figures. I just want to live a comfortable life, but like, we look at where we are right now. Maybe maybe you just started on your journey. Maybe you're an Emerald coach. Like, it's so hard to see those big goals in the future. Sometimes when we're like stuck in where we are now, but you guys, we have so much potential, and I don't know. I really want you guys to believe in yourselves, because all of you are on one of our teams because we saw something special in you. We believed in you, or we wouldn't have asked you to join us. So we just want you guys to believe in yourselves, because that is what's going to help you grow in this business. That's what's going to move you forward. That's what's going to help you get to your goals and your dreams. And no matter how big or scary they are, it's 110% all up here. So just remember that. Sorry.
And I think you made me think of this, Jen, and I meant to mention it, but one of the most freeing things you can do, especially if you are a fellow Enneagram 3, the most freeing thing you can do for yourself is to give yourself permission to fail. Don't be one of those like failure's not an option people, because the best thing I'd ever heard someone say, and I forget who it was and what I was watching, but she was saying, like, we set a goal and we think there's either we hit it or we fail. But really, you set the goal and you fail and you fail and you fail and you fail until you hit it if you keep going. So failure can either stop you Or you can look at it as a natural part of the process. And like we said, reevaluate and just keep going. Because if your vision's big enough, if it fires you up enough, like what Jen was saying, then it doesn't matter how long it's going to take you to get there or how many times you fail getting there, as long as you eventually get there, right? Like that's what matters. And not to mention, you're the pace setter for your team or your future team. So if you limit yourself, you're limiting them. And that's important to remember too, because I don't want to limit anyone on my team because they are so capable.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, I'm done.
Something that I always like to say to myself, because I need constant reminders as well, is that it is not, I think Rachel Hollis says it, Jen would know the best, but it's not my job to judge if another person does not need or needs what I have. Like it's what's the thing I'm trying to say? We should go into talking to people about this with the openness that it's their choice to decide if they want this. It's not our choice to decide for them. Like, so you can't be like, I don't want to ask my neighbor next door if this is for her because she has a good job. She doesn't need this. Like, she's busy with 3 kids. Like, you don't know. She could really need this. She could look cushy and cozy on the outside to me, but really need this. So it's not our job to like put on other people our opinions. Like, I know a lot of you guys do this when we like ask people to join our groups, and we're like, oh, like $150. I have to ask them to spend $150. Like no, wipe that off. And that is not your job to be putting your thoughts, projecting your thoughts into that conversation. Like, let them decide if $150 investment in their health and fitness is right for them. And the other thing I'll say is too, when you're writing your visions, remember that it's time and consistency. And if your goal is to, be able to take your spouse on a trip next year somewhere, I don't know. If that's your goal and you haven't hit like helping 3 new people a month in, 3 consecutive months, then we might have to like reevaluate not your vision, but the steps you're taking to get there. If you have this goal of this like $1 million goal and vision, like, are you doing $1 million work to be there, or are you doing $100 quarter work to be there? Are you just putting out content when you feel like it? Are you just inviting people when you feel like it, or are you showing up every day? And that is the difference between people who achieve their vision and people who don't. They're going to carve out the time to do this business. Like, you're going to get up early. You're going to stay up a little later. You're going to spend 2 nights or 3 nights a week, like on your phone, being intentional on your phone next to your spouse on the couch, sending messages and invites, and you're going to be clear to them why you're doing it. So whatever your vision is, you have to share that with them too, not just us. But that's what I'm talking about. JD right there. Kyla Dance being intentional with her time. Spouse on the couch. Jack.
I mean, he's a diamond coach too. He needs to be on this call.
Right? Look, husband hustling.
He's crushing it.
So make your vision, share it with your coach, share it with the people that are important to you that are going to like need to understand why you're carving out time to make this vision a reality, and show up consistently and do the work. But if you or one of your coaches is, like I said, showing up 1 or 2 times a week with some work done, but not 5 to 7 days a week, like, it's not that the business isn't working for them. They're not working the business. So just get clear and set the right action steps. And I think that's it. Other than that, if you have not yet tried Bar, what are you waiting for? I think we've all decided that we were sorely wrong in the fact that it was gonna
I told you all. I told you all.
right? That it was not going to be a hard or good workout. But literally, guys, like when I am done one of her workouts, like I could wring my clothes out. They are dripping in sweat.
I don't think I ever thought it wasn't going to be hard. I just didn't think I was going to like it.
Yeah.
And I can't stop freaking smiling like a weirdo when I'm doing it. And so obviously it's fun.
Because she smiles at you the whole time. She's like, come on, Jackie. Let's go, Jackie.
I'm like, ah.
Well, and I can't stand Shalene, and like when she talks, and I really thought that that's how I would think of Elise. And sometimes I'm like, you're a little too over the top for me, but I'm really enjoying it. So that comes from my cold heart soul.
Well, try it. Try to get your people to still try it. You know, the free sample workout is on there, and then it releases on Monday. Make sure people know that, like, if they are buying it, the workouts aren't loading until January 10th. Happy
Will
birthday.
they get the mini workouts?
Oh, yeah, they'll have the prep workouts, like the bar how-to, like certain moves and stuff. But like if you purchased right now as a coach, we have 1 through 10. They're going to come off on Monday, and we'll all have to wait for 1 through 10 until January 10th. What was I going to say?
We also have, I didn't tell you, but Kelly can do the team call next week. I think we're talking about, right? Was the Monday?
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. So
Okay.
those of you who don't know Kelly, find her in your little square on your computer. She recently submitted for the Beachbody Challenge. Her before and afters are incredible, and maybe I'll convince her to be brave enough to share them with us because they're so good. But she's going to speak to us next week and share her story, which is more incredible than her results, and just the power, more about the power of mindset, but even more so, like, also sticking to a program, because she can really speak powerfully to that right now. So I'm excited.
Awesome. I'm excited for that. And so we'll do 8:15 next Monday. Everybody's invited. Invite your teams, but it's going to be a really special and very empowering call. I know that for sure. If you if you've known Kelly through coaching or followed her story, you know she has a really incredible just transformation to share. Not, you know, transformation very big overall. And then I just saw real quick, Emily said she feels like the only one that doesn't like this. And I'm going to assume that you're talking about Bar. Okay. So I do want to say, like, I don't fault you at all if you don't like it. Give it a try, you know, give it some due diligence, like give it a couple days, maybe a week. But if it's not your jam, guys, then that's okay. Because I'm going to tell you, like, I quit 80-Day Obsession like 60 days in. I was like, this blows. It wasn't my jam. It wasn't for me at the time. And I'm still not even sure if it's right for me ever. I'm not sure. But if something is not your jam, I don't want you to feel like you have to push it. But I do want you to at least try it, which I'm sure, Emily, you have. And I want you to be able to, like, have it in your back pocket to be able to, like, offer other people. But don't ever think, like, because we have a new program or something, like, you have to do it or else you suck, because that's not the case. There's just some things that aren't for some people, and it just doesn't speak to them right now in their life. But that doesn't mean that Emily or whoever can't help a bunch of people in January do something else or lead a group doing something else. Like that, it doesn't matter. Or she can lead people in a group who want to do bar and other people want to do 80-day obsession or whatever's on bod.
Work.
That's the beauty of it all. We can find something specific for everybody.
Yeah, you can talk about who it is for. And like use specific examples even from people you know. Like it is for me in my life right now. I can tell you that for sure.
All right,
Jen
so
Sturgis, do 80-day obsession.
I cannot do a program that's more than a half hour anymore.
Stop it.
No,
Life
seriously.
changing.
Yeah.
I know that's the thing that gets it. It was too slow for me.
Well, to be fair to myself, it came out when, like, I just popped out Carson.
Yeah, you were like still pregnant.
Yeah. So then I tried to do it after him, and it was just like way too much. And then like Lift 4 came out, so I just like went on to the next one.
Which was perfect because,
Yeah.
you know,
And I
brand new.
But I don't think I'll ever go back and do 80 days because I did try it. She's just too slow. Like, it doesn't need to be an hour. It could totally be 30 to 45 minutes. You know, like she talks too much.
I just fast forward through that. I make it go way faster.
Yeah.
See, I did that with Body Beast. I fast forwarded because he was super slow, but like I didn't feel like doing that. Like I just want like that took too much time too.
Guys, you know there's like an actual reason why they're slow, right? You're lifting heavy weights. Like there's a reason. You gotta give yourself, if you're lifting heavy enough weights, you gotta give yourself a little, like a minute.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Maybe one day, Carrie, I don't know, maybe.
You'll do it with me.
Maybe I'll even do the nutrition. Wouldn't that be something?
Mm-hmm. That would be everything. Anyway, sorry. Tangent.
All right, girl. I don't have anything else, but thanks for being on the call. Thanks, Carrie, for getting it all together. And guys, don't forget next Monday night, 8:15, because it's going to be really awesome. And Kelly, thank you for what you're going to share with us.
Yes. Can't wait.
All right,
All
ladies.
right. I got a picture, but did anybody else?
I think I got one. I have to look later.
Oh, sweet. All right. I'll use one of your guys.
All right.
All right. Bye, girl.
Night.
Oh, say bye.
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 Good night, guys.
Night.